Hey VC, it's Jonathan, the Cheap and Cheerful Record Collector. I thought I'd do a video today and show a bunch of compilations I picked up over the years. You always see compilations when you go to thrift stores and Goodwill, usually pretty generic kind of stuff. But some of these things I picked up over the time I think are a little more unusual, not the usual stuff you see all the time, so I thought I'd just do a video on that, show different categories and different compilations. To start off in the background, I usually don't play CDs, but when I make these videos, I like to have a CD on, and so I don't have to jump up and when the record is over if I go a little long. So since tomorrow is Fat Tuesday, I thought I'd bring out Clifton Chenier, Louisiana Blues, and Zydeco. Great stuff. All right, compilations. Start off with jazz. This was Norman Granz, who was the guy who started Verve Records, and he put out a bunch called Jazz Jam Session, and this is Jam Session 1. Love the illustration on the front. This has Ray Brown, Barney Kessel, Oscar Peterson, J.C. Hurd, etc. on the Vanguard label, which we all know. He started that label, Norman Granz, I mean. These are probably from the mid-60s, I would say. Don't think they're in the 50s. But there's Jam Session 1, and this is Jam Session number 4. This one has Stan Getz, Benny Carter, Wardell Gray, Count Basie, Freddie Green, Buddy Rich. So these are always great to see. If you can ever find any of these, they're usually not too expensive. And I've only gotten 2 that are in decent shape. I've seen others, but were so beat I couldn't justify keeping in the collection. So let's start off with Jam Sessions 1 and 4. Norman Granz at Verve Records. Another one I picked up. You don't see this often. Women in Jazz, all women groups on Stash Records. This don't have a date on 1978. No pseudo or electronic rechanneling has been added. All playable on stereo mono equipment. And you have groups like the International Sweethearts of Rhythm, Mary Lou Williams, which I know on piano, Norma Carson, a trumpet player with her band, Edna Williams, but they have songs such as Digging Dyke, A Woman's Place is in the Groove, Cat Meets Chick, Don't Get It Twisted, Boogie Maestro, The Man I Love, Body and Soul. So this was really sort of fun. I saw this at Goodwill a couple of years ago and couldn't leave it there, obviously. I don't know if you know Stash Records as their label for Stash Records. Always good stuff, and it's time the women got a little more recognition in the jazz field. Most of these are recorded 1940s, 45, 46, 45 and 46, the whole album. So a nice compilation of different women jazz artists. This one I got because I love the cover. This is before Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder. This is Black and White Ragtime, 1921, 1939. And has people such as U.B. Blake, recorded in 1921, James P. Johnson, Fletcher Henderson, Rube Bloom, I never heard of, Willie Eckstein, Jelly Roll Morton, all recorded in the 20s and 30s on Biograph Records. Really cool. I love piano. I love that ragtime piano. And there's the Biograph label, which is pretty cool. I love that. So love jazz, piano playing, and love the ragtime and the boogie woogie kind of stuff. So that was a no-brainer for me to pick up. And one more in jazz is an Italian pressing called the Bop Masters. And this features Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, Fats Navarro, Dodo Marmarosa, Lenny Tristano, Milt Jackson. It's an Italian pressing, looking for date, 1945, mostly in the 40s, yeah. And you have Dizzy Gillespie and his orchestra, Barry Olnov and his all-star metronome Jasmine, featuring Fats Navarro. Howard McGee, Dodo Marmarosa, great piano player, and Charlie Parker All-Stars with Kenny Dorham, Charlie Parker, 1949. So a really nice find there. The Bop Masters, unissued and rare performances on Chicala Series Jazz Live. That's Italian pressing. I don't remember where I picked this up, but it's the kind of thing I would grab as soon as I saw it. I wouldn't let it sit there. Next, we'll show some rock and roll. First one, I had no idea what this was, but I saw it. I said, I have to have it. And it's called Atomic Cafe. I might have shown this before, but a lot of people maybe are fairly new and haven't seen my channel for a while. This is Atomic Cafe. It was a documentary about the atomic bomb in the 1950s, and these are all songs about the atomic bomb. So you have the Golden Gate Quartet doing Adam and Evil. You have Major Thomas Furby, who was in the Enola Gay, which is the plane that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima. He talks on here. Then you have Win the War Blues by Sonny Boy Williamson. Atomic Power by Buchanan Brothers. Jesus Hits Like an Atom Bomb by Lowell Blanchard and the Valley Trio. When They Dropped the Atomic Bomb by Jackie Dahl and his Pickled Peppers. What else do you have on here? Atom Bomb Baby by the Five Stars. Atomic Cocktail by Slim Gillard Quartet. Atomic Love by Little Caesar with a Red Calendar Sextet. And Atomic Telephone by Spirits of Memphis Quartet. You never see this stuff out there. I mean, to find those songs singly would be close to impossible. So it's really great to have them all together. Some really, really fun stuff on here. Atomic Cafe. That's on Rounder Records. This one I got from a good friend of mine who was cleaning out his collection, and I was so happy to grab it. I've shown this before, but again, if you're fairly new to my channel, you probably haven't seen it. And it's called Drink, Beer, Yell, and Dance. These are all 1960 to 61 garage bands from the Midwest, mostly from Missouri, I think. And a strictly legal reissue, royalties paid in advance, details inside. That's the back. And it features bands, the Twilighters, the Lindells, Rod and the Satellites, the Catalinas, the Boys, Friar Tuck and his Merry Men, David and the Boys Next Door, the Rebel Rousers, just great, great stuff. And of course, gotta love that cover. Drink, Beer, Yell, and Dance. It's on Echophony label. Echophony. I thought there was a little flyer inside, which is really cool. Talks all about each different band. It's party time. So these are all frat rat guys and garage bands in the early 60s in the Midwest. Pretty cool. Not the kind of stuff would get big airplay. Nobody got any hits out of it, but a great stuff. They have a number of these out, and I was lucky enough, saw it at Goodwill about 3 years ago, and I had to grab it. Girls in the Garage, Volume 5. All girl garage bands, the Majorettes, the Bermudas, the Pussycats, the What For, Linda Gale, the Electric Lollipop, Tammy and the Sounds, on Romulan Records, Girls in the Garage. This is Volume 5. I think they have a bunch of volumes. They put them out at Record Store Day. I've seen a couple of them. So, virtually brand new, in great shape, and so much fun. Girls in the Garage. Next two actually, I met a guy at a party, and we were talking music and records, and he said he had a bunch of records he was probably going to get rid of. I gave him my card and forgot about it, And almost a year later, he called me up and said, I finally got all my records digitized. Are you interested? So I went over to his house. Turned out he was been in the Army, the U.S. Army, and was stationed in Germany. And almost all his records were German and UK pressings. I got a ridiculous deal on them, you don't want to know. But two of the things I got, which I loved, these are both German pressings. And this is a compilation called Pop Sound 70. And as you see, it features John Mayall, The Who, Taste, Fat Mattress, Cat Mother and the All Night Newsboys, Area Code 615, The Golden Earring, Euphoria, and a little bit on each band inside. Great cover. Great covers. And original pressings in really good condition. He said, oh, it's on red vinyl. Forgot about that. On red vinyl, that great label. He said, I recorded all these records onto my tape machine and just never played the records. And you hear that a lot, but this time it actually was true. Almost everything I got was like in near mint condition. It was ridiculous. And I'm at the house and I asked him what he wanted for them. He said, well, whatever you want to give me. So I made an offer and he was like hesitant. His wife was in the other room. She's yelling, get rid of him, get rid of him. So I got a great deal on him. The other one I got was this Polydor, also a German pressing from Stern Music. And this is called Underground. I think it's also from 1970 or around that time. And as you see, amazing. Julie Driscoll and Brian Auger and the Trinity, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown, Cream, Jimi Hendrix, The Velvet Underground, and The Mothers of Invention. Amazing find. Cream, they do Politician, Passing the Time. Velvet Underground does I'm Waiting for My Man. Sunday Morning, I Heard Her Call My Name. European Sun. The Mothers do Plastic People. Who Needs the Peace Corps? Arthur Brown does The Fanfare and does Fire. Just great, great stuff. 2-record set. Don't think you see this around a lot. Underground. Then I go into my folk and country category. This was originally recorded in the 60s, but was released in 72. There used to be 2 magazines, folk magazines. One was called Sing Out, and one was Broadside. Broadside then did some albums. This is volume 6, called Broadside Reunion in 72. And it features, as you can see, Phil Oakes, Tom Paxton, Eric Anderson, Peter Lafarge, and someone called Blind Boy Grunt. Blind Boy Grunt was Bob Dylan. He couldn't legally put his name on another because he was in contract to Columbia Records. So they called him Blind Boy Grunt on here. And he does, if I can find it, it's Phil Oakes, Tom Paxton. Blind Boy Grunt does Dreadful Day, a Dylan song, written by someone named Bob Dylan. So really great. Blind Boy Grunt. Broadside, Volume 5. This is a really early folk, before the real folk revival started. There was a folk scene, but it was before Dylan and before Dave Van Ronk and all those people. And this is a sampler number 2 from Elektra, called Electric Folk Sampler. New folk sampler. Most of these people are, it really doesn't hold up that well. Ed McCurdy, at least for me. Cynthia Gooding and Theodore Bickel. Ed McCurdy. Again, Theodore Bickel. Gene Ritchie. What else I had? Susan Reed. Theodore Bickel again. But one of them was interesting, a Crawdad song sung by Alan Arkin. You might know the actor Alan Arkin. This is him when he was a kid, he was younger. He was into folk, he was in a couple of different folk groups before he became an actor. And that's the Elektra label. Pretty cool. Beautiful label. So Elektra Records, Electric Folk Sampler. And I got this basically because it was old and good condition, and it was sort of interesting having Alan Arkin singing in a folk group. Get that in there. There we go. Also sticking in the folk and country vein, this is one I picked up called Old Fiddlers Convention, Galaxy. I guess Galaxy, Tennessee, Virginia. I'm sorry, Galaxy, Virginia. And they had a folk bluegrass fiddle festival there starting in I had it right. They have a little folder inside, which is sort of nice, gives you a lot of information. The Old Fiddlers Convention held for the past 28 years in Galaxy, Virginia. So I think this is from the early 70s or late or mid 60s. Has people such as Tom Ashley, Udell McPeak and Billy Edwards, Kenneth Poovey Old Timers, Sunny Mountain Boys. This is just great, really non-commercial, straight-ahead fiddle music. Just guys playing fiddle music because they love it. Great album. In that same vein, another one I picked up was this, called Old Time Southern Dance Music, the String Bands, on Old Timey Records out of Berkeley, California, and features the Spoonie Five, Scottsdale String Band, the Hackberry Ramblers. It says Gid Tanner. I think it's Gil Tanner and the Skillet Lickers. So I've heard that name before, etc. This is on, like I said, Old Timey Records. The old little label, really basic. Old Timey Records. But I really love that old timey fiddle music. I love the stuff where these guys were, basically farmers or whatever they did. And then Saturday night they'd play some music and they enjoyed playing it, but they never really expected to make a living out of it. They just did it. And this is from it's old Southern dance music. So just great stuff. Another one, got a couple more. I'm really digging in here. Western Swing, Volume 3, also on old-timey music. This features Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys, Brownies, Musical Brownies, Modern Mountaineers, Adolph Hoffner, Spade Cooley, the Bar X Cowboys. Just fantastic. Actually, Bob Wills is not on this, my mistake. They have a picture of him on the back. This is a review copy, not for sale. Little water damage, but what are you going to do with something this old? But take it back. Bob Wills is on here. Bob Wills, What's the Matter with the Mill? Louie Louie Blues by Brown's Musical Brownies. Everybody's Truckin', Modern Mountaineers. All recorded in the 30s, 37, 38, 46. So 30s and 40s on that old-timey music label. Again, these bands, play dance bands Saturday night. A couple of them were fairly successful for sure. Bob Wills and the Musical Brownies were very successful. And loved that country swing, which sort of merged country music and swing big band music. They got some blues albums. Picked this one up not that long ago. This is called Dirt Blues on Liberty Records. I think it's a UK pressing. Love that cover. Dirt Blues. I think it looks like Willie Dixon walking down the street there, but can't swear to it. And this has Lightnin' Hopkins, Slim Harpo, Big Joe Williams, T-Bone Walker, Sunnyland Slim, Smiley Lewis. But then in the middle of all that, they have the Chambers Brothers. So, I don't know. But it's really great stuff. Wilson Pickett's on here, a number of Lightnin' Hopkins tunes, 2-record set. Dirt Blues. Another one which I saw, and just because the cover was so great, I couldn't resist. And it's called Which Way Does the Blood Red River Run? Wow. Go figure, man. This has Mississippi Fred McDowell, Peg Leg Howell, Elijah Brown, Jack Owens, recorded 1963 to 1965 in Mississippi, in Como, Mississippi. And there are some of the musicians on the back. So I have a lot more compilations, but these are sort of things I haven't seen before and figured people might want to see something they're not going to see around a lot. Which way does the blood red river run? I assume it runs downhill. And we got a couple more. This is the Blues is All Right, Volume 2. It's a special collector's edition, Volume 2. This was on Malaco Records out of University of Mississippi. This features Bobby Blue Bland, ZZ Hill, Johnny Taylor, B.B. King, Little Milton. Malaco Records. And on the back, Living Blues, for information on the latest news on the blues. Please subscribe to Living Blues magazine, which I used to have a number of issues of, but got rid of them because I figured someone else would treasure them more than I did. I read them, went through them. Folk Blues Festival, 1963. German pressing. In the mid-60s, they would put together groups of blues musicians, and they travel throughout Europe and give concerts. This is one of those shows, and had Memphis Slim, Willie Dixon, Matt Guitar Murphy, Big Joe Williams, Victoria Spivey, Muddy Waters, Otis Spann, Sonny Boy Williamson, Lonnie Johnson. Fantastic stuff. Recorded live October 13th, 1963. One day. Not going into the studio, recording it, doing another take, doing a overdub. No. Just get out there, plug it in, see what happens. American Folk Blues Festival, 1963. So great. All right. And the last one is one I picked up when my wife and I were in Japan, and we were on a vacation. And I think the last night there, we were in Kyoto, and we had nothing to do. I said, I'm going record shopping. So she went with me. It was pouring rain. We went through a couple of different places. I finally found a vinyl shop on the 6th floor of a office building, and I bought some jazz albums. But also there, I saw this, knew nothing about it, but figured I should give it a try. And it says blues from LA to LA. And it has Johnny Mosley, Curtis Griffin, and Eddie Lang, and Al Prince. I didn't know any of those guys before I bought it, but it was so cool, I couldn't not bring it home with me. Here's the blues from LA to LA. There it is, sorry. All the Japanese writing on it. And here's the label, Jewel and Panda Records. Beautiful label there. And this is good. This is a really good album. I was really surprised and happy to get that. So, just so you know, next time you're in a thrift store in Goodwill or whatever, and you see a compilation, don't just go, another crap. Don't just like flip through it. Check it out. Spend some time. You might find some stuff on there that you don't have or would be really hard to find. Okay? Hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank everybody who's subscribed to my channel. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that little bell down below and subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified whenever a new video comes out. And as always, we need it now more than ever. Peace.